Good evening, folks. Simon DeWong here with West Agawam Hockey. Here to give you another weekly update. Hope it's been helpful. We're trying to be as transparent and providing you all the information we can. This week, this one's I feel is going to be an important message and an important update for you, for everyone to look and consider. We're going to talk about registration. We'll talk about return policies and what the gameplay is going to look like for Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, as well as Tier 4. So I'm going to try to do this in, I was going to say in one take, but I was halfway through and got a call from Steve Arsenal. So I had to redo this again, so be patient with me. Hopefully I'll fumble through this, but we'll get through this quickly. So this undertaking, I gotta tell you guys, it's been a monster. It's I've never been through anything like this where we continually have moving targets. Things are changing so rapidly. You know, you guys have probably seen it through what we're going through with limitations on gatherings and whatnot. So this is no different. Again, I've been getting a lot of calls on registration. You know, why is registration so closed? Why can't we get more kids in? And you know, the two biggest factors is, you know, our limitations on how many players we can roster on a team. Again, 17 players last year down to 10, right? We got to remember we're in a pandemic still, so I think it's understandable on the restrictions that were being imposed upon us, right? But again, if we got 15 skaters and 2 goalies last year, typically on a roster, now we're mandated nine skaters and a goalie. There's 40% of a roster that we've got to cut down. Ice time is being reduced in terms of the availability. Our ice slots are still the same, but we have to have 20 minutes to 30 minutes in between ice sessions for the sanitation in order to get the players and the families in and out. So in a 3-hour slot, traditionally we can get 3 slots out of it, an hour each with a 50-minute skate. Now with 3 hours, we're only getting two time slots in there. Right, so you can just, you know, follow my logic there and see that, yeah, we're not getting the capacity due to a number of reasons, and these two that I've just mentioned is a big factor to it. Having said that, I still think being able to get the kids back on the ice is a tremendous feat. Again, it's still a privilege to me. For us to be in a pandemic and talk about hockey, you know, I think the pandemic and being healthy is far more important, but this is an outlet for them to still enjoy the game. So be patient when you're looking at it and you're looking at it saying, you know what, we want to be competitive. Sure, we want to be competitive. We want to have what was normal to us last year, but this is not a normal year. This, in all intents and purposes, is supposed to be a recreational hockey for the season. What we've done is we've created tiering. The tiering is to allow players to play with kids of the similar skill set. So that's all it is. So when I'm getting calls to say, will my kid make Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3? I'm not even thinking of that. I'm thinking, how do I get the kids back on the ice, and how do we get them back on the ice playing safely? So having said that, we'll move forward on this, and this will give you a little bit more information to make a decision on if you guys want to opt out after hearing what you're hearing and the information I put forth to you guys now, okay? Registration, we'll start with registration. Registration currently is going to remain closed. We're working on through the ice slots. What we are going to do is we're going to set up an online waitlist form right from our website. That's not going to be available tonight. It'll be available sometime tomorrow. So please, if you're looking at this and you don't see it online tonight, don't panic, it'll be there tomorrow. So we're going to create a waitlist for those who missed the deadline and didn't get in on time. So you'll be able to register. We'll use that registration so that when we start filling the teams and looking at the empty slots we're missing, we can then look at the wait list and say, okay, who's registered first in this category, and we'll pick and choose from that list accordingly. Okay. The next thing is a return policy. This is an important one. We're going to provide everyone the opportunity to opt out this week. So from what you hear now, you say, okay, this is not what I signed up for. You can opt out up to the end of Friday, September 25th, okay? And we will only charge you a $25 admin fee for the cost of doing the administration and the bank fees, right? So again, it's very important. If you guys want to opt out, this week is your chance to opt out, after which time there will be no opting out. We need commitment from everyone that signs on. We're non-for-profit. We're trying to run at a break even this year. So every one of these registration counts, and the maneuverability of the kids playing and being affiliated from one team to another isn't available to us this year as well. So if you're signing on after September 25th, after Friday, there is no refund. Okay? The only time we're going to offer a refund is in the case where, I hope it doesn't happen, we get shut down because of COVID-19. If we get shut down, we will then reassess where we are in the season, how much ice is remaining for each team, and provide a refund accordingly at that time. There will be a $200 fee that will come off of that refund, because just we can't refund an amount on certain items that we won't be reimbursed on. We have to pay for our insurance, no matter if it's 1 game, 2 games, as soon as you step on the ice. We have to pay for the WNMHA fees, the admin. So there's a number of factors there. So again, that's why I'm telling you guys now, if this is not what you're signed up for, you have an option to opt out. COVID protocols. COVID protocols have been submitted to the WNMHA. We've submitted our COVID protocols and how we're going to handle it. So the one thing that you guys can expect is what we're all used to at different places we go throughout our community. Whether it's we're going to start with temperature checking, you're going to be used to screening questions and wearing face masks. Same rules will apply. There'll be certain ways we'll handle it at each rink. We're going to create a video for each particular rink on terms of how it works for each arena as well. So you'll get that sent out to you before the season starts, okay? We're on to Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, right? One of the items we talked about was partnering up with some NDHL centers. So what we've established is we're going to partner up with the Garden City Minor Hockey, we're going to partner up with Niagara Falls, and we're going to create a 3-center loop for our 3 tiers, right? We're also going to look at it and know that the bubble is 50 players. Within 50 players, that's 5 teams. So if each center, let's say in Tier 1, Major Pee Wee, U, whatever the number is, I got to get used to that as well. There's 2 teams in each, from each center. That makes 6 teams. What we would then do is split them into 2 pods. We'll have Team 1, Team A from West Niagara, from Garden City, from Niagara Falls, and then the same thing for Team B from the 3 centers, okay? If we can keep it where, one center only provides 1 team and the other has 2, and we're up to 5, then we'll keep 1 pod going. So that'll be the format we're going to try in terms of the interlock loop between the 3 centers. Also, you can expect that teams will be practicing together. So if you're on a U13 Team A and Team B, those teams will practice together. Traditionally, we're going to try to keep that team that was together last year practicing together. In the case that things open up again, we might have the opportunity to come back to regular play. Do I see that right now? Probably not, but we're always preparing for the ability to scale and ability to go back to somewhat normal. Again, the dreaded morning practices. We did everything we can to avoid morning practice. I can tell you that. We were looking for ice slots in order to not have morning practice. It's just not feasible. We needed the morning practice, and what we're going to do is morning practice is going to be for kids that are not in high school. So I believe that's from U13 and below. They will have morning practice during the week, and for high school kids, we're going to have weekend morning practice as well. We're going to continue to do what we can to avoid it, but I can't see us avoiding. We're going to be needing it and utilizing it. So just know that as well. Okay. Tier 4 house league. What we're going to do is we're going to do our best to set up the teams from the centers that you register with. So for example, if you're a Grimsby family, we're going to try to keep you in-house in Grimsby here first for practice. So when I say in-house, mainly to keep you close to your arena for practicing. The games will be played amongst the 3 centers, right? We're going to have to do an interlock. No one center has enough teams where we can just stay in house. And if we do, we want to give it a little bit more ability for the kids to have a little bit of a variety, if you will. Okay. At the same time, when I say we're going to try to do that, we might have a situation where, let's say, Grimsby has 64 kids in a certain division, and Lincoln has 33, right? And West Lincoln has 23. So those numbers aren't even. So we can have 6 teams there. If it's 64, we're going to have those 4 kids left over in Grimsby. We might have 23 in West Lincoln, which that means there's 3 left there. We're going to try to put them together on a team. So you might have a mixed team of mixed centers, but the best possible solution, if we can try to avoid it, we will. But in the case that we have to mix it, we're going to do so that we give you guys the option still to be on a team and to play within the West Niagara boundaries as well. Okay. So scheduling. Scheduling is the most frequently asked questions. Everyone says, do we know what our ice slot is? So do we know what our time is? Is it like the same as last year? Just throw that out the door. We have no answers for that yet. We're still working on it. The one thing I want you guys to understand is if you're signing up assuming that scheduling is going to be the same as previous years, and you find out that it's not, and it's past the September 25th date, we will not be providing refunds. So please know that ahead of time now, and understand that we're trying our best to keep the scheduling make sense as much as possible. But to map it out, we still got a lot of work to do. We got to meet with the other centers as well in terms of where that looks like. Okay, so again, deadline, I keep on talking throughout this information session, September 25th. Scheduling, we do not know. As soon as we know, you'll be the first to know. Okay. Coaching and player selection. I'll start with Tier 4. Tier 4, we will be posting online for coaches for parents or non-parents that want to help out and coach, and we're going to need it. So we're hoping you sign on. We're going to have an online form so that you can sign on there for the team or division that you're looking for as well. I know some of you guys, and I thank you guys for emailing in your interest. What we're finding is there's just way too many emails. My email list and others are just inundated. So we want one central spot for the submissions to volunteer to coach, so that when we look at it, we don't miss anybody. Okay, so that's gonna go out tomorrow as well. Player evaluation and selection, that still needs to be mapped out once we do the scheduling. October 5th starts with the development. We're going to try to incorporate that evaluation period in there as well. Tier 1 to Tier 3. The coaching selection committees already started with identifying the Tier 1 coaches. So we have the Tier 1 coaches. We're not going to announce the Tier 2 coaches until the Tier 1 teams and the players have been selected. The main reason behind that is if we decide to pick a Tier 2 coach and that coach picks that particular coach's kid to be on the team, now we have to revert and find another coach for that. So to avoid that, we're going to do it step by step. So which leads to some very important dates next week. Next week's going to be a busy week for us. We're going to start off on Monday night to have a Tier 1 coaches meeting to select the players for the Tier 1 teams. And then the following day, being Tuesday, we're going to then look at the coaching candidates that are remaining, and we're going to name them on the Tuesday. The Wednesday, the Tier 2 coaches that were named on a Tuesday will get together and do the same process again of picking the players for the Tier 2. We're going to do the same thing on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to name the Tier 3 coaches, and on Friday, the Tier 3 coaches will do their team selection as well. Okay. Very important note, and I feel strongly about this. There's no tryouts this year. These coaches are here to do the best of their ability to select their teams. Right? Every year, doesn't matter which year. There's not a year that missed the beat where someone's not going to be unhappy. That someone's going to be unhappy that your kid hasn't been chosen. Right? I'm hoping It's not going to be the case this year, but I'm pretty more than certain it's going to happen. And when it does, know that the process is that when the coaches are selecting the team, they're looking at the roster from last year. They're talking to coaches from last year and conversing. The conveners of each of these divisions will be there to oversee it, as well as once it's all done, the executives, being the three presidents, will take a look at it and we'll rubber stamp it. Once that's done, if you have any issues on that your kid's not selected, again, I encourage you to do the 24-hour rule before reaching out to the coach and getting feedback. But I can almost assure you 99% of the time, if you're going to come to us saying, hey, my kid didn't get picked, can you do something about it? I'm going to tell you this year, 99% of the time, if that happens, we're not making the change. So we're going to instill in these coaches to make these picks. We're going to oversee it, and we're going to live with what we have. Again, if you're not picked for tier 1, you might be in tier 2 to tier 3, tier 3 to tier 4. The goal is everyone's playing hockey, right? That's my big goal this year. Not about the stats, not about the standings, not about championships, just to get the kids playing hockey this year. Next year, when we go back to normal, yes, we'll get our competitive juice going again, and we'll be back to normal, right? So that's my update for today. Again, very important note, September 25th, this Friday is the deadline for you guys to look at it and go, okay, maybe this is not what I signed up for. I hope that's not the case. I'd love to see you guys at the rink. So have a good night, and we'll send an update as soon as we can. Thank you.